Positional battles, folks. That's what the topic of today's video is all about. Fighting to see who's the best, who makes the 53, who is, 1, 2, 3 in the depth chart all the way down. That is what this is all about. And it's freaking great. Competition breeds better players. It gets the best out of players. That's how you grow as a football team. You're consistently getting better and better. And there's a lot of battles that we need to pay attention to, offensively, defensively. And we're going to go through it. We're going to talk about these battles, what the outcome potentially could be, and the result. But before we get into the video, if you're not a subscriber of Lions Nation Unite, you're crazy. Hit that subscribe button. Channel is made by Herman Moore, Chrissy, to give you all insight regarding Detroit Lions. We do film breakdown of wide receivers on Wide Receiver Wednesdays. A lot of good stuff coming your way, so hit that subscribe button. Also, hit that like button. Let's get into the positional battles right now. We're going to start with wide receiver. Why? Because I love talking wide receiver. Now, there's 3 players that are right now vying for that number 6 spot. You got Quintez Cephus, you got a Trinity Benson, an undrafted rookie, Khalil Pimpleton. One of these guys is going to be making this 53-man roster and being the number 6. 2 of the guys potentially will not be making this team. They can go in the practice squad, though, or if another team picks him up. But this is really important to see who gets this number 6. We've seen injuries, folks. We've seen many injuries on this football team last year, decimated, and a wide receiver, too. We got killed there regarding injuries, and we noticed that having a good depth chart helps win football games when those injuries happen. We've seen it. We've seen it, folks. So who is going to do it? I like Quintez Cephus the most. That is the guy who I would like to make the roster. Before he got injured last year, he was doing really good things for the Lions, and he was making big plays when you needed to. He's not the fastest guy. He's not the most athletic guy, but he's good with contested catches, and he's good in the clutch. That's what I like about him. Trinity Benson last year was non-existent. Yes, he's doing good right now in, minicamp and OTAs, but it's pajama time. When the lights were on him, nothing was going on, and we were freaking destroyed regarding injuries, and he still could not get on the field and make plays. So I like to look at pads in when the lights are on. Can you make plays? Can that happen? Also, make sure you guys go ahead again, hit that subscribe button. Let's get to, add another 50 subscribers in today's video. Do that right now. But let's talk about Khalil Pimpleton as well. These guys are going to compete. Khalil Pimpleton, undrafted guy. He's making noise in minicamp and OTAs. But again, just like Trinity Benson, what are the pads going to show? Is this guy just doing good right now? Or when the preseason hits, he's going to make noise? Ultimately, I think I'm rooting for Quintez Cephus. That's why I want to make the team. It could be Trinity Benson because of the trade from Brad Holmes, but I like Cephus there. What about RB2 and 3, the whole running back room as a whole, 4 in the depth chart there? Swift, number 1, we got it. Jamaal Williams and Craig Renolds is interesting to me. I like Craig Renolds all around. I think what he brings to the Lions offense is something that brings more dimension than Jamaal Williams. Jamaal Williams, though, is a really good running back, 2, 1 yards. He is that bruiser guy, and you're going to get the 1 or 2 yards from him. But Craig Renolds, if Swift goes down, we have injuries, he's an all-down guy, and he's consistently beating the defender when they try to tackle him. He's not getting taken down. I like him to be the number 2. I don't know if that's going to be the case. I think Jamaal Williams probably is number 2, but I personally would like Craig Renolds to be. But what about the other guys? We got, Jason Cabinda, fullback. We got Jermar Jefferson. We got Bell. We know, I feel like we already know Jason Cabinda's making the football team. So Jermar Jefferson, Bell, and Godwin Igwebuike. I don't think Godwin makes the team. Jermar Jefferson versus Bell. Who's going to do it there? You have to give the edge to Jermar Jefferson because he's drafted, but Bell has done good. in minicamp and OTAs. So I'm sorry. This is what I would prefer: Swift, Reynolds, Williams. That would be the guys there. Jamar Jefferson and Jasa Kabinda. That's kind of what I would prefer. We'll see what happens there. Let me know what you guys prefer in the comment section. Your 1, 2, 3. Offensive line, we already have it there. No reason to talk about it. Tight ends, I think we understand who's going to be the 1, 2. The 3 is really, we're all waiting, undrafted guys, Devin Funches. I'm not really too interested in it because we know who 1, 2, 3 are. I mean, it's going to be fun to watch, but don't really need to talk about it a whole lot regarding that. I think the linebacker position is very interesting to me. Who's gonna be the guys? And there's a lot of linebackers we have out there. We have Derek Barnes, we drafted last year. Alex Anzalone, he's the guy right now. He's going to be out there. But then we got Malcolm Rodriguez, who we drafted. We picked up Jarrad Davis. And we got Chris Board, who right now is showing out. So ultimately, I think it's going to be Derek Barnes, Board, and Anzalone if they go 3. Anzalone, Board if they kind of stick with 2, just depending on scheme. And they bring up their Malcolm Rodriguez potentially if they go 4. I think Jarrad Davis is on the out. When I look at Jarrad Davis, I don't think he makes this football team. He doesn't have a... We got really good pass rush right now. We got a really good defensive line, and, he's good with speed and getting to a quarterback, something that Patricia never had him do when we all know he should have done it. And he's not really sticking out a whole lot at linebacker. I think he's the one who's going to be out. I think it'll be Anzalone, Chris Board. You're going to see them the most. You're going to see Derek Barnes the next. And Malcolm Rodriguez will be in there. And I think that Jarrad Davis is the lost soul in this. And I think that's the way it should be because the rest of the guys have a higher ceiling, in my opinion. I have more confidence in Derek Barnes, the second-year guy. Alex Anzalone being the veteran. We've seen what he did. I have confidence in Chris Board from what we're hearing. He's a veteran as well for the Ravens. And then Malcolm Rodriguez, we drafted. So I would like to see the youth and the guys who kind of have more of a future than at Jarrad Davis right now. We kind of know what we have in him. Secondary is going to be a phenomenal battles. Phenomenal battles there. 1, 2, we don't even know what's going on here. Jeffrey Okudah, injury, right? So I think, obviously, he makes the team. I think ultimately he is a starter if everything in health wise. I think he's a starter. Amani Oruwariye for sure. He's going to be CB1 in my opinion right off rip. Probably given an extension after this year. Amani Oruwariye has done a really good job with the opportunity he's given. But who's going to be the 3-4 all the way down? So Jerry Jacobs last year did awesome. Got injured though. I think he'll be in the mix when he's healthy. But right now, he could be on the PUP list. I think that's very possible for him, and he has to wait a little bit. We got Mike Hughes, who we picked up in free agency. He could be the nickel corner. I want to see who Mike Hughes and Melifonwu there. This can be interesting because I like Melifonwu's ceiling much more. I really like Melifonwu. What he did last year when he was on the field, he showed ability to learn really fast. He stayed with the wide receivers. He turns his head around. Big body. I like him more than Hughes, but Hughes is not bad for depth-wise. That's going to be a fun battle to watch. Who is, going to take that spot right there? And maybe Okudah doesn't really pan out. Maybe he's not injured, and then you're looking at Amani, Hughes, and Melifonwu. Overall, very intriguing. We go to the safety position here. Safety is another one I like. Elliott picked up in free agency. Oh, Will Harris, by the way, too, at corner. He could be competing at corner. And who knows? Maybe he gets there at the corner position because he's not going to do it at safety. So, I feel like the depth at corner is really good. Love to see the competition there. But back to the safety position. Elliott, Kirby Joseph, Tracy Walker. Man, I really like what's going on at the safety position. This is one of the positions I felt like need to be upgraded after offseason in a big way. It was my number 1 or number 2, depending on, what you look at. But now it's better. But the thing is with Elliott, he's been injured quite a bit. So I think he starts out. I think it's Tracy Walker Elliott, week 1, unless there's an injury before them. I think they start out, but Kirby Joseph is going to get his playing time. Ultimately becomes number 2. I think by by midway to the end of the season, he becomes number 2. But you're going to see him on the field because there's going to be 3 safeties in packages. So you're going to see him on the field a lot. I think those are basically your safeties. Regarding depth, we'll see, what happens there. Will Harris, if there's an injury, I guess he can come back there in the pinch. We don't want to see that at all. Not at all. That's the last thing we want to see. So we'll go to special teams. I think Riley Patterson has it. I think he's going to be the kicker for this year. I'm fine with that. Jack Fox going to be the punter. We all know that. And again, the defensive line is beefed. Who is going to be the man out? Now, John Pennicini retired, so that's one player we don't really have to worry about. But could it be Michael Brockers as the guy on the way out? I know they love his leadership, but, man, it's stacked there. You got Pascal, Levi Uzurike, Aleem McNeil, Aiden Hutchinson, Romeo Akwara, and Julian Akwara could be out as well. He could be on the way out. Maybe they use him at trade bait. I don't know this one. I don't know who's on the outs looking in. It's very tough to look at that one. Let me know who you think is on the way outs. Folks, in the upcoming videos, we got Wide Receiver Wednesday on Wednesday. Tomorrow, we have a live show on LNU, and Thursday at 7:30. Make sure you hit that notification bell and subscribe, folks. Let's go.
Perfect.